And welcome. I hope you're well. Well, yesterday was a pretty disappointing result, wasn't it? So we're going to talk about that. City 2, Forest 2. On the bright side, if there is one, United got beat. So we'll get that out of the way. That helps. So is it over? Is that it? Curtains, getting the white flag out, are we? I don't think so. I'm not giving up yet. They drew with Wolves 2 weeks ago. Things can happen. So let's not get too bogged down. But we've got our own problems, and we'll talk about those as well. I mean, we probably won't win it, but we might do. That's my way of looking at it. But the game yesterday overall, I was disappointed. I said after the Leeds game that there were some very worrying signs, and if we won against Forest, we can gloss over them in the game, but I thought there was so many signs against Leeds that we've got a few problems. But when the team come out, I was broadly happy with it. I mean, disappointed Marmoush didn't get a start. I mean, his game time this season has been very, very odd. Forget the games that he missed due to AFCON. Yeah, that's fine. They're budgeted for. But the weird couple of minutes on against Newcastle in the league when we're losing, couple of minutes on at Villa when we're losing, started against Leeds, did all right. Doesn't get a look in against Forest at home when we're looking for a goal. I mean, I don't know what it is. And people say, he's got a sad face in training. Well, I bet he has. I would. This time 12 months ago, he was pulling us out of the shit. And now it's, you're a cup player, you can play against Leeds, you're in and out, You've got no chance of getting any sort of a rhythm. And I won't go as far as say I feel sorry for him, but it's not the role he's signed up for, is it? And whilst there are imperfections in his game, there's worse players than him at the moment, throwing in pretty poor performances yet have started. So I don't know where we go with him. There's a 50, 60 million pound player on about 150, 200 grand a week, I expect. The market's very small for him. Where's he going to go? I don't know. I don't know. Will he loan him out? I don't hope not. So we'll see what happens there. But, so on to the game. I said I was happy with the team broadly. How they set up again, Semenyo out front next to Haaland, but they had the ball in our box after 30 seconds. I thought if that header was a bit stronger, Donnarumma would be in trouble. But I was at the other end of the ground, so maybe it wasn't as good an opportunity as it looked from where I was. But I thought that's not a great start. But we never really got going, did we? We had a few shots here and there. We had Foden did a wild one, then did a sort of low, hard one into the keeper, which is okay, I suppose. But Foden, Cherky, Nunez, loose passing. Foden's back heels didn't come off. And Gabe was putting in loose headers, and putting us under pressure that way. And it went on like this for most of the half, really, give or take. I know we had most of the ball, but we're always going to, weren't we? But, Anya, Gibbs White, Anderson, the forward that got the Igor. I think he was playing in the first half. I thought, they caused us some problems on the break. That the Gibbs White one, but showing the highlights where he sort of a bit poor contact, and then he had the near post one that Donnarumma got down to say well, which they did show the highlights for whatever reason, and a couple of other sort of semi opportunities on the break. But we weren't pepping them, were we? But we got the goal, and it's a good goal from Semenyo. I sit right behind it, and then I saw it at the break at half time as well, and it was a really good finish. But it could have been 2-0. It could have been 2-0 when you think that cross that Semenyo put in right across goal. Haaland's not there, nowhere to be seen. Where is Raheem Sterling when you need it? It's happened so many times this season. And I'll talk about that when it comes to Haaland's performance later. That it's just a bit weird, really. Just a bit weird. The second half wasn't much better. Maybe even worse, was it? We can't run. We're not playing. You can run. And I know we miss O'Reilly, but that can't be the only reason, can it? We look a bit weak and a bit slow. And I don't know. I don't know what it is with us, but we just seem slower and weaker than most other teams. David Silva was never the quickest, was he, or the strongest, but he moved himself around and his quality was high. And then they're back in it, aren't they? 1-1. Good goal from Gibbs White. Again, I sit right behind that, and the header back was top. People talk about blaming Foden, but I'm not having that for that one. I'll come on to in a bit for the second. But, like we said before in the previous video, the Premier League's strong. If you're not on it, quality players throughout this division, and they'll punish us. And that's exactly what they did. They got players that can hurt us, and that's exactly what happened. But we see the subs about to come on. Great. But we've got a corner, so we'll have to wait. So we waited. Ball comes in, header, goal. Right, subs, sit down. Like, no, don't sub sit down, because we're still not playing very well. So get the subs on and freshen it up and feed things of that nature. But yeah, I didn't like that, sitting the subs down just because the goal went in. Yes, goals change games, but it doesn't change your performance, does it? If your performance level's poor, then people need replacing, or strategy tactics need changing. But what really annoyed me about that goal was their goalkeeper running around complaining to anyone who'll listen. And it starts with doubts in your head that, is this going to be disallowed? And you see it on the replay. It's exactly the same as the Arsenal-Chelsea game on the weekend. You think, he's shouting that much, something must have happened. No one's going to embarrass themselves on television that much. Oh no, professional footballers, like they do, shameless, embarrassing themselves. But the goal stood, and you think, right, okay, are we going to get any better? Not really. 2-2, Foden done by a pretty basic 1-2. Again, he looks small. He looks like the player that made his debut or scored against Tottenham in the league in that 1-0 diving head. That's what he looks like. He doesn't look like, a physically strong 25 or 26-year-old in the Premier League. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't want to slag him off. I don't like to slag him off, but I will do when we come on to player ratings later. The 2-2, yeah, good strike by Anderson, keeping no chance. Then we threw the kitchen sink at it a little bit, Savio on the wing. I mean, Doku's another one, been injured for months. Right, get on. I know, just couldn't play on the wing. He was isolated, I thought, didn't have much support, the fullback situation, what we finished with, was absurd. So I don't understand why Semenyo's not on the wing and Marmoush's up front. Do something like that. We bought Semenyo as a winger, and I was sticking him up front. I don't know. But when Savio come on, did anyone really think, here we go, here's a difference maker? I don't know, he could have scored, yeah. But he didn't, did he? He never does. So, overall, a very disappointing result. Very disappointing performance. But whilst we drew, I mean, it's bad though, isn't it? Drawing when Arsenal are winning, not giving anything away, and we're giving away goals and chances like there's got half the pitch to run into, because our defence is a bit too slow and the midfield's not as aggressive enough. But I just touched on Arsenal after their win before we go on to the player ratings. Brighton's manager belly aching about only one team wanting to play football and blah blah blah. Well, I'm sure that's completely true. Arsenal are an anti-football team, but tough, I'm afraid. You can't moan about how other teams play when you lose. It just sounds bitter. Arsenal scored for the 9th minute. You had basically an hour and a half to score, and you didn't. You have to take some responsibility for that. And it just annoys me when people complain about how the teams play. I haven't a lot of sympathy for Arsenal either. But if they've got the hands on the trophy in 3 months' time, they're not going to give a shit, are they? They're not going to give a shit. So let's do player ratings. I've never done this before. I've never done player ratings before. So 1 to 10, 10 being very good, 1 being, how did you even get on the pitch? Well, what's a benchmark of you did okay? I think 6. 6 is an okay benchmark. You did okay. Did tear any trees, but you didn't let yourself down. Okay, so let's try Donnarumma. Overall, very good, isn't it? No chance to see the goals, and he gave a few bollockings out, made a couple of good saves, and led by example, as he tends to do most weeks. So I think giving him a 7 out of 5, 7.5 out of 10 is fair. If you disagree, please do feel free to comment below and correct me. Nunes. Yeah, he's got some credit in the bank, but that was the worst performance he's had it in a long time. He started badly and got worse. He seems to be in his own head. Like, oh, started badly, so I shouldn't really be here, and I don't know what to do. Rather than have the sort of strength of character, what elite athletes tend to do. Think back to his performance at Real Madrid, think back to his performance at Anfield, and then use that sort of memory bank rather than 5 minutes ago. So yeah, poor, very poor, and the move to left back was just fucking bizarre, quite frankly. I don't know what we were thinking, because the Doku couldn't get any support, and he wasn't on the right wing either. Well, he struggled at right back either, but he struggled there. So yeah, that was all a bit odd. Ruben Diaz, playing like this is not a skill set, is it? Leads away, last 30 minutes, in the box, head it, clear it, shout at people. Fucking great. He's in his element. Playing high line against Newcastle at home the other week, as we saw, and yesterday, he's exposed. But even when he's not exposed behind him with pace and space behind him, he's exposed in the sense that he's not very good on the ball, and it's slow, and he's not John Stones, is he? Nor is Mark Gave, for that matter. I'll come on to it in a minute. And so if we're building up from the back, we need a bit of, come on, hurry up. But that's not his game. I think that brings us to a wider point about the technical level of his team. He's dropped, hasn't it? He's dropped. We've got some difference makers, Semenyo, Haaland, Donnarumma, Mark Gay, but they're not at the level of, Stones, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, people like that. So I think that's an issue. And that's the problem in the build-up. So look, we have sloppy passes, lack of thought, lack of pace on the pass, passing to the wrong foot, etc. Putting your teammate under pressure when that teammate's not technically as good as the previous ones to escape that pressure. So, yeah, it's a problem, I think. But I don't know where we fit it in, because walking to the game, you're thinking, our players are really good. What's the problem? Is it a mentality thing? Yes. If we continue to buy people from Bournemouth, Wolves, Crystal Palace, are we going to get those sort of inconsistent results? Because no one's coming in with the expectation of not only winning every week, playing at a high level every week, or not twice a week. So that's something to think about. But I give him a 6. Matt Gay, his worst game for us, I thought whilst Diaz was sloppy passing, his headers, particularly in the first half, were loose. Put us under pressure. I said to a mate at half time, this guy's not John Stones on the ball, is he? And he's not. He's sort of good enough at everything. He's pretty good at, reasonably quick, reasonably good in the air, reasonably good on the ball, good tackle. He's good at everything. But he's not at the moment, is he? But that's the point of coaches have, isn't it? To make them better. He's been a good signing, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he isn't. We should have gone near him, but no, top signing, top player. But he was shit yesterday. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Rodgers scored, looked good. Thought he was our best player, and was trying to make things happen, and didn't make things happen with a goal, obviously. But again, it's him and Bernardo in field. We need the extra one, don't we? I think we need extra legs or height or everything with O'Reilly in there, because they do start to look a bit isolated. Well, overall, I thought he's heading back to his best, isn't it? But he's got a contract problem, hasn't he? We're giving him contracts, we're flogging him, or we're letting him walk out the door. I don't know. But yesterday, excellent, I thought. That's the best player for us. I'd give him an 8. Bernardo, got a good shot in the second half, didn't he? Did okay. But that's the thing, he's okay, isn't he? Well, Forest at home, he's okay. He needs a bit more. I don't know what more is. Is it, if Rodney and O'Reilly in there, would that be enough? Or is it a numbers thing? Or is it a legs thing? Because the ball's going to have to throw, and he's running after. I think Anderson just nudged him off the ball or walked past him or ran past him. Just wasn't good enough. But I thought it was okay. Not one of our biggest problems last night, so I'll give him a 6. Phil Foden, he was one of our problems last night, which I don't like saying. But where to start? I mean, he was just shit. I thought he's just shit. Poor in the first half, he's a decision maker. I mentioned the back here before, not taking responsibility, which he should be. Tame he's a couple of shots. Just take it a bit, either take it further or pass sooner. Do something. Decision making was poor. Goes back to responsibility. He looks small, doesn't he? Look at that. He doesn't look like the guy that helped us, that basically led us to 4 in a row, Player of the Year. Nowhere near it. Yeah, he was brilliant in that period against United in sort of September, October. He's gone. He's gone, and he looks like he's gone. Whatever, he's gone. Does the position help? Probably not. I maintain, I think his best position is on the wing, sort of inside right, coming in, shooting, coming in, crossing, linking up with fullback, whatever it happens to be, linking up strikers. But he needs to be on the right. I think get him out of the way and let him do his thing out there, because in the middle he looks too small, looks exposed. And somebody shared a picture on social media the day. He looks thin. I'm not saying he's unwell or anything. I'm just saying, I don't know. He just looks thinner than you should be at this level. So I don't know. But the sports scientists know that City, don't they? So I'm sure. I'm not telling them anything they don't know. So I'm sure that's not an issue. But yeah, he's not up to it at the moment, is he? So I think it's bench duty for him. But he's not on with a contract that we need to sort out the next. Well, he runs out in a year and a bit. So do you give him a new one in the summer? You flog him in the summer? No. You stick with him. He's the horse we rode in on, and we stick with him. That's my view. I heard talking of wild things on Blue Moon about loaning him out. I'm like, fucking hell, mate. I know Blue Moon can be like, I go on Blue Moon, but fucking loan out Phil Foden. You're fucking joking, aren't you? To who? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But a 4, because I thought he was shit. So bench dues to him. Ryan Cherky, decent enough. Slows the pace down sometimes too much. Great way to run sometimes at Real Madrid, slowing it down. Not so great at home to Forest. Gives the ball away with unnecessarily risky passes. But he settled the goal, didn't it? So it's a price on the ticket. You take some of the good, some of the bad. Hopefully the coaching team can get the more bad out and more good in. He certainly shouldn't have been taken off at all, in my view. So I don't know with him. What was he? Better than a 6. Probably a 7. 6.75. That's what I'll go for. Antoine Semenyo. I'm not sure playing him up front does anyone any favours. But he's doing what Matt Minch did, isn't he? He's pulling us out of the shit. The guy knows where the net is. He's a bit clumsy on the ball, isn't he? And he's a bit anonymous at times, but that's a new position settling in. Maybe that's what it is. Free kick at the end was unlucky. His goal was good. Is he our Donnarumma up front? Like, not mentioning the quality of the technical ability being low, but he does the business. So you can pick faults in Donnarumma. You can say, whatever it happens to be, his kick is not good, whatever. He goes long too often, whatever. But ultimately, he pulls us out of the shit more often than not. Similar with this guy. Yeah, he's a bit clunky. Yeah, he gives the ball away when he's trying to dribble. Yeah. But he knows where the net is. And seeing as though not many others do, then we'll take that. Thank you very much. So I give him a 7.5 out of 10. I'd like to see him on the wing, him on one wing, Foden on the other, Haaland up front, and go from there. But it doesn't look like we're going that way. And Haaland, last one, so I'm not going to go too into the subs much. Haaland, injured v Leeds, completed 90 minutes yesterday, and he didn't look like he was fit to me in any way. I don't know. He was playing for 90 minutes, come out with an injury. When he realised this shit all game, I didn't understand it. First half, he's got to be there for that tapping. It's happening all too often. Happened. Son run away, I think, at least twice. Near post ball, he's nowhere to be seen. He's hanging at the back post. Chelsea, I think, once. And it was a tap in there waiting. Where did you think Semenyo was going to cross that ball to? The only place to go was where it went. So get in there, and you bring a defender with you. He might knock it in, whatever. But hanging around and not getting in there is just not good enough. And then second half on the right wing, he's there dribbling in, has a shot. Well, that's all right, but that's not the plan, is it? The plan is not to give out the ball the wing and fucking shoot from outside the box. So he's not Mo Salah, is he? Talking of Mo Salah, if he goes down for that penalty, Anfield's up. Salah's screaming blue murder. Well, Haaland did. Just looks at it and goes, all right, no problem. It's almost the ground as well. Would like the Zions not getting penalties. It was the other end of the ground for me. And I was like, that's not a pen. It's not the replay. You think, what is it? Maybe. If he gets given, he's not getting overturned, in my view. But that was resigned to not getting these penalties. And I don't want to moan about refs because you let 2 goals in, you're not in Forest. You're to blame. But Forest a good team, aren't they? They took Liverpool the distance. He drew an Arsenal at their ground, so it's not the end of the world, is it? It's just too many jaws in it. Too many jaws. The jaws that kill you. But Haaland, from a rating perspective, I'd probably give it a 6. And Kuznov, come on, looks a bit rusty when he came on, I thought. But he's not an attacking fullback, is he? He's going to help. He's going to give Savio any support. Doku, I'm not giving him a rating. I thought it was a waste of a sub, really, because he didn't look up to it. It was isolated and he get the ball to him quick enough. And Savio, well, should he have scored at the end? Maybe not. I don't know. But he never does anyway, does it? So it doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because he never does. So overall, very disappointing. We're not dead yet, but we almost are. We need something to happen. But then not much has changed, has it? We've still got to win most of our games. We've still got to beat Arsenal at ours. We've still got to win our game. Do all that, and then we'll see how it goes. Keep them honest. Don't let them run away with it. Beat West Ham in a couple of weeks. Do that. And then we can take it from there. Okay, yeah, so we'll call it a day, actually. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe if you did. If you disagree with my ratings, please let me know. If you agree with them, let me know. Let me know on the right track. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, and I'll be back probably Friday evening or Saturday morning for a preview of the Newcastle game. Take care. Thank you.